Hey everybody, Sweaty Hero Comic Bargains, Jason Major, 1978, with letter D for, Damage! There was a character named Damage in the 90s, but they made a new character called Damage in DC during the Dark Knight Metal. Kind of like a Hulk-like character, but I've read a few of these and they're kind of fun. So that's... these are normally $3.99 US cover price, so about $5 Canadian, and adult in the dollar bin. Daredevil. This is the series. This is the 2023 series of Daredevil, and you have the legacy numbering, which this is 664. So that is helpful when they have legacy numbering. I hate it when they don't have the legacy numbering because then it gets more confusing to find out what the numbering is. We got John Romita Jr. doing the covers here, but not the interior. But John Romita Jr. Did Daredevil, The Man Without Fear miniseries with Frank Miller, which was like an origin of the Daredevil. I highly recommend that. This is Daredevil Echo. I saw the Echo Disney Plus show. I didn't mind it actually. I didn't think it was great. I didn't think it was bad. I just thought it was okay. It was pretty good. It was pretty interesting for a character I never heard of. Gang War was a Spider-Man crossover with Tombstone, and this is a Daredevil crossover, so it's kind of cool. I have never heard of this Dark Ages book. Never heard of it. It's a Marvel book with a bunch of different heroes and. I don't know much about it, but that's a cool cover. Future State. Now, technically, this is under F for Future State, but I put it under Dark Detective because rather than put everything under Future State, I like putting it under the character names. Like if it's Batman, instead of putting it on Future State for F, put it under Batman, and maybe someone will pick it up under Batman. Darkhawk was a cool character in the 90s. I'm sure that eventually he'll find more of a comeback. There is talk about Darkhawk joining the Disney Plus universe. This is a legacy issue of Darkhawk that came later. They kept the legacy numbering and just did a one-shot. And then this is another Darkhawk Celebration issue. That's from later. Dark Horse, when they had license to Aliens and Predator, put it in their Dark Horse Comics and Dark Horse Presents book, which is in black and white, and if you look inside. Some of them are, this one's in color. This one's in color. I'm sorry. This one's in color, but Dark Horse Presents was a black and white book. But they basically did not just the Aliens and Predator story, but they would use that as the lead, and then kind of like Marvel Comics Presents, you have a main lead that people know, and then you have other characters that you wouldn't know that are, in this case, create their own, which is kind of interesting. Oh, actually, this one even has... It says Indiana Jones and the Shrine of the Sea Devil. So that's kind of interesting that they would throw an Indiana Jones adventure in the back of this book. That's kind of cool. So Predator, you got Predator. Oh, what's the arc about? My Bang on Days. Then you got. You got all kinds of different stuff. This is Terminator, when Dark Horse had a license. This is an Elseworlds series called Dark Knights of Steel. I debated whether to put it under Batman. Ultimately, I put it under Dark Knights of Steel because of the fact that it is an Elseworlds series. So I guess it was like, well, okay, technically it's Dark Knight of Steel, and it's an Elseworld, so we'll just put it under that. So there we go again. Top Cow, the Darkness, Four Horsemen. So I like putting some of these random things in there. DC versus Vampires. Another Gang War. That's just a storyline I told you about. This one with Shang-Chi. One issue of Deadpool. Let's see how fast that sells with the movie that came out in 2024. Death's Head. Death's Head's cool. Deathlok is also cool. This 90s series was really a lot of fun. I really enjoyed it. Look, foil cover. An Infinity Crusade crossover. Deathlok Annual, sorry. Another Deathlok story. Deathmate is the Valiant Image crossover that kind of faltered because, although it has wonderful art, it came out super, super late, all these issues, except maybe the prologue. And it was very confusing because it basically were merging two worlds that people were just beginning to know. But, it's not like those two worlds really started in the beginning of their story. Valiant did, but the Image stuff, a lot of the stuff, like Youngblood had been around for years in its universe, even though you never got to see its first appearance. But there's some great art, and it is worth checking. And this cover price originally was $6.25 back in the '90s, but it is kind of cool to check it out for $0.25 or $1. I kind of have a fondness for it, even as a failed experiment. I wish they had just, maybe done something a little bit more easier to understand in terms of story. Deep Target. This is actually, I better double check this. Oh darn it! It says Aquaman, Green Arrow, Deep Target, and I actually had this under D for Deep Target because I could not figure. Because look, I couldn't even see that. Like, can you see that? Like you have to, like there now you can see Aquaman, Green Arrow, but it doesn't file under D. It files under A. Well, good, because Aquaman, more people will look under Aquaman than under Deep Target. Defenders, cool book from the '80s where Beast was on the team, and a lot of an Angel and Valkyrie and other superheroes. So a mixture of some X-Men characters and some other Marvel superheroes. Cool team, very different from the Defenders that came with the Netflix show. It's not even it's a different trim, but I don't know. I just had to pick this up because I thought this was interesting. It's called Desert Storm: Send Hussein to Hell. At first, I thought it was like a comic book, like a war comic. But if I look, and there's like superheroes in it, so it's like a fictional take on the Desert Storm story, I guess. So it is just like meant to be a nod to send Hussein to hell. But here are some comic book stories about doing that. So, very glorious bastards of it. Detective Comics from New 52. Night Terror, which I'm putting under Detective Comics. Dick Tracy by IDW. Die Hard, based on the movie Year One. I don't think they're trying even to make him look like John McClane, look like I don't even think they're trying to make him look like, I don't think that's I think that's supposed to be John McClane there, and that does not look like Bruce Willis, obviously. But whatever. Doctor Who, and then Domino. Wow, we have a lot of D's, eh? Unstoppable Doom Patrol, another example where I would rather put it under D for Doom Patrol. And then we have Doom 2099 from more recently in the 2020s. Anyways, stay sweaty. We'll get to the letter E next.